Good evening. I was recently told that wearing a queen shirt in the month of June might be a little bit symbolic. Speaking of symbolic, 2 years ago, in the month of June, Estonian government legalized same-sex marriage. Unrelated to that, a few days ago, Sam held stream on the financial adventures of French fried girl. A few days after that, I tuned in into the replay of the stream French fried girl did after the fact because I was curious whether she had any public reaction. I mean, any public reaction on YouTube in response to that stream. Although we all should know by now that French fried girl does her nasty lashing out on Twitter and on YouTube. She pretends to be the morally superior one. Either way, she didn't have any reaction, but I edited out a moment, a reading of a super chat from her stream, and that super chat was trying to bash Sam or Yaba, and I posted it on Twitter, and a strange account started to furiously defend French white girl, and in the midst of the defensive tweets, she actually said something like "my donations," which might very well be revealing the fact that she actually was French fried girl herself, which is uh, well interesting. The alleged French fried girl sock account might not have seen my tweet, but Sam and Yaba both retweeted it, and they added some, let's say, spicy commentary. And I would just like to note that my contribution was just informing them about this specific super chat. Any additional commentary that they added was not done by me. I sound like I'm trying to whatever, but either way, I would like to offer a specific angle to Sam's stream. Yaba has told us that she grew up being poor. I also grew up being extremely poor. My mother had a notebook where she wrote down every single expense we had in the then current month. I assume that quite a lot of us in Girlwall have been of lesser means. It has been said that when you grow up being of lesser means, then by the time you have more money that you can perhaps spare, you can appreciate money and don't spend as much as opposed to people who have grown up rich. But of course, we have also many examples of people who have, for example, won the lottery, but despite winning the lottery, they end up back in the same situation they were in. I believe that there was a famous case in England where a garbage man won the lottery and held lavish parties, and a short while later he was again working as a bin man or a garbage man. The general theme of Sam's stream seemed to be that French fried girl seemed to be a person of lesser means, and she didn't really experience having disposable income until she started to do reactions. Seemingly unrelated is the fact that French fried girl used to look cuter and prettier, and unfortunately, it is tied to also looking thinner. And I don't necessarily mean the photo that she posted on Twitter where she claimed that she used to be hot. I mean that if you look at her streams where she was just starting out, she looked perhaps not like a supermodel, but she looked decently pretty for an average girl. And if you compare it to her appearance where she last appeared on camera 2 years ago, she visibly appeared fuller in face and well in body also. I'm not saying that her choice to not appear on camera is somehow a direct proof that over the last 2 years she has gained a significant amount of weight, nor am I saying that any reactor that once was on camera must stay on camera, but I am saying that from little clues such as the lack of her victorious commentary on the magnificent results of her spite diet that she so proudly announced and called Spite, which she announced fall of 2023, and her occasional praising of drinks that probably contain high amounts of sugar. It is reasonable to assume that she hasn't lost any significant amount of weight. Anyway, if I had to spell out what the point of my video was, I was trying to say that I have a hypothesis that once French fried girl started earning more money, she started eating more. And now I guess I have to take a lesson from much more experienced YouTubers and say, that is gonna do it for this video. And I'm sorry, I can't help but to hear that line in sexual way. Anyway, peace. That is gonna do it for this video.